Now, between 2000 and 2018, Rwanda enjoyed a GDP growth of between 6 and 8 percentage points. Hello, and welcome to Doing Business in Rwanda. My name is Michael Mujisha. On this particular episode, we look at the country's economic development 24 years after the 1994 genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi. And on this particular episode, we look into the youth to see how much they contributed, but also how much they are contributing to this rather nascent economy. This is Doing Business in Rwanda. The magnitude of the 1994 genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi was largely attributed to high participation of the youth. Their role in Rwanda's post-genocide transformation is also very critical.
So one of the things that we are really passionate about doing is recollecting stories. So we are training authors, we train authors, we create a vibe around literacy, because we believe that the more literate we are, the less prone to conflict we will be. And we teach young people to be self-reliant. So I'm very hopeful. Rwanda has, you look around you, every day there's new roads, there's so many things that the government is doing, but I also love the sense of responsibility. Young people are starting businesses, they're getting out, they're taking risks to build the country, and every day you hear a new person say, this is my contribution to Rwanda.
It starts with self, it starts with actually believing in yourself, believing in your contribution for your country, understanding that in 1994 you may not have been born or or we're still too young to participate in the liberation of the country. But now you can, participate in the development of your country in your specific way. Whether you're an artist, whether you're, you're doing business, whether you're in any other field, it's what you can bring to the table that will actually elevate your country.
Now there's a foundation of a new country, and there's an opportunity to show a different side of Rwanda. There's a lot more going on, there's a lot more happening, whether it being music, paintings, there are many different ways. And one of the ways I would encourage, especially the youth, would be through photography. A lot of the images that were shown before were very dark and graphic, but now it's important to show a country that's rebuilding and a country that has a very bright future.
The youth is the energy and the force behind any kind of society, and I believe that the young people here in my country of Rwanda are the future of the country. They are the ones who have the energy, and they are the ones who are fresh with fresh ideas to build the country, and also like really support our people in whether economically or socially, and most importantly in my field, which is the arts field. We have a platform where we are being able to talk and reach out to people, whether in our country or even outside our country. So I think we are the voice of our country and our people.
Now, over thousands of youth are walking in Kigali on the 10th annual Walk to Remember event, an event that was set up as an aim to instill the idea of fighting a genocide ideology among the youth, but also to instill the idea of working together to build a nation.
The programs that the government of Rwanda has is to provide an environment that would nurture the youth. We don't want to think for them. We want to provide them a platform where they can think what is good for them and what is good for their country. Walk to Remember was started by youth. and it is an initiative that is supported by the entire government. That's the same program that we always do. Whenever they come up with a good initiative, we always provide them all the support that they need to move forward. This is an encouragement to others as well that have not done anything yet. But beyond this also, we see the youth in this period of commemoration. We see them going in the rural areas, supporting vulnerable people, becoming the children of the parents that lost had no children at all. So the Rwandan youth is a child of every Rwandan. They feel it's the values that we are nurturing into them to feel that they are the Rwandan future, but they also have the responsibility to take care of the elders that are not capable, are not strong enough right now to carry the mantle. And we see them even this whole period of remembering. They are going to do a lot of activities. The whole of April, the whole of May, it's going to be specifically remembering the fellow youth that perished. But what they are going to do is to do more vocational work, like voluntary work, community work, construction of houses of vulnerable people, constructing in Umudugudu wherever they are located in the communities, doing much more work and be visible, participating in the discussions, sharing experiences wherever they are on social media, using the platform that they have to see. We want to see them really participating in this, and we have seen it in the past, and we have seen it even starting right now.
It's really over the years a realization that the youth has a role to play, and they are really the biggest force for the country, for the economy, for social transformation, and so on and so forth. They are big in numbers, and what we see today is really them taking that challenge on. And an example is this Work to Remember. That is actually a thought and a concept by the youth, really to mobilize and to demonstrate that they are ready to contribute. So I see them really continuing to play a big role, and also becoming more and more aware. There is a lot to contribute through really even mobilization and sensitization through social media, but also actively and directly by taking positions in the leadership institutions across government, across local government, across private sector, across civil society. Really, the call, when you remember, from our president has been now even venture, even think that really you the next to really take on the baton and continue the journey. So I see the youth really playing a big role. Yeah.
I mean, like the youth doesn't mean that you're younger, you cannot do anything. So I also work in many different areas, like in private sectors, industries, because we believe that we're the young people, but we also have the power and the ability to do these things. And we're also the next generation that we can do the rest of the things.
Rwanda is a very good example in Africa. I saw the government, what they are doing is part of education, part of training, and part of giving job to the young. If you have more than 50% of the population are young, so we have to do a lot for these young in order to be more than to involve in the development of our countries. Everywhere you go in Senegal or New Rwanda, it's a duty of the government to work hardly in order to educate them, to train them, in order to give them jobs, and to have their participation in a high level in the development of the country. For me, it's a very great honor to be here today, coming from Senegal. I'm the Minister of the Culture, and to participate to the ceremonies which is celebrating what happened in 1994. For every African people, you have to know what happened here and to celebrate with the people of Rwanda. It's a great honor for me to be here and to be allowed by the President Macky Sall to be here with you to celebrate what happened here today.
Almost 2.5 decades ago, Rwanda suffered the loss of hundreds of thousands of lives, and her economy was left in total devastation by the 1994 genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi. 24 years down the road, the country saw a miraculous economic turnaround fostered by good governance, and today registers as one of the fastest growing economies in Africa.
More than 1 million people perished, but also the economy also suffered. the economy had lost quite a bit. Actually, half of its potential was lost. So the quick recovery, actually, we attribute it to a visionary leadership that really has set it as a deliberate commitment right from the liberation struggle to the government of unity and many institutions that have been set in place to really make sure Rwandans reunite, reconcile, and focus on productive work, patriotism, and so on and so forth. So leadership really, for me, holds a key to what we see today. But also, the Rwandans really have been, I would say, really they have listened to that message and worked together. Really, when you see efforts in reconciliation, when you see how people now can live together, when you see how people really have taken even steps to seek for forgiveness and to grant pardon, those are really amazing things that we don't take for granted. So on the one side, really leadership, strong institutions, but also Rwandans that really have accepted the message of really coming back to what we were before. One people, one nation, all committed to really to making Rwanda a success.
Over the world, they are saying that it's not genocide. Here in Africa, we think and we are very convicted that what happened here is a very deep genocide against Tutsi.
Rwanda has taken a long way, a journey of development. We believe we've been there because of the support of other partners that we had along the journey. So we say never again.
It's our responsibility today to really seriously recheck what we are saying, what we are doing, the systems we are putting in place so that really never again becomes never again.
And that's where we leave it on this episode of Doing Business in Rwanda, from the second best place to do business on the continent, but also one of the fastest growing economies. Now, we did look back 24 years ago as the 1994 genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi happened, much of it on the back of the youth, and we fast forwarded to today as the youth are now having so much contribution to the growth of the economy. This is where we leave it. If you have any feedback, be sure to send us an email to dbir@abn360.com or tweet us at dbirwanda. My name is Michael Mjisha, and from the entire Doing Business in Rwanda team, thank you very much for watching.